Genji 2 is an action game which is based on Japanese history. Being based on history, the stages of the game will also be based on famous battles which actually took place in ancient Japan. So here's this giant enemy crab.
Beautiful. In that case, we are ready to start episode 43 of the Giant Enemy Crab podcast. Welcome. Thank you for joining us.
Let's go.
Yeah, I'm excited. No, I'm tired, but I'm also excited. I'm your host, Fliz. I'm here joined by three wonderful gentlemen. As always, we got Soon, Kyler, and Strider.
Hello.
We got some games to talk about today, some new releases, a Marvel update, some fun stuff, just some housekeeping to get out of the way. We got some new subscribers. Welcome. Nice to have you. Thank you for joining. If anybody wants to do us a solid, go ahead and head over to Apple or Spotify, drop 5 stars, leave us a comment. We would really appreciate that. And lastly, in the comments, please wish Soon a happy birthday. He's the birthday boy.
Oh, happy birthday.
It was yesterday.
Happy birthday. Was your day everything you wanted it to be?
This is pretty good.
What did you have for your birthday dinner? Because I know you went out. I don't remember what you had though.
I'm probably gonna fuck up the pronunciation. I had seafood jampong, which is a Korean dish. We went to the local Korean restaurant.
Well, that's pretty
Nice.
good.
It was tasty. I was gonna say I learned that apparently what I find not too spicy is apparently liquid fire. But anyways,
You're so tough and powerful and strong.
I was like,
That's
it's
why
not
I
that
listen.
bad.
You're a chef. You're used to tasting spicy things. Other people get Chipotle and are stuck in the bathroom for a week. That's how that works.
Good though.
Well, shit. We'll just get into it then. What are we? I guess. What do we got? We got Marvel. We got Blueprints, and Strider and I took a little expedition and watched the Devil May Cry series on Netflix, and we have some choice words.
How was that? Because I remember you guys were very excited to talk about it, and not for good reasons.
I went into it with no I expected nothing. You know, we're all Devil May Cry fans. I think 5 is easily my favorite. I've played quite a few of them. And I kind of wanted to stay away from the anime because I'm like, everything that gets adapted to Netflix is kind of cheeks. You know, it only taints what's good there. This turned out to be not much different. It showed a lot of promise right at the start. The first episode, actually, no, we knew it was going to be bad because the trailer and the theme song uses Limp Bizkit's Rollin', and that is a rough choice for, I don't know. And you think that maybe it's just that, and it's like, we're just being cheeky and funny. No, the whole soundtrack is a mess. I don't know who was in charge.
It's like half Devil May Cry songs and then half like covers of music that they couldn't quite afford the license to for like the full song, so they just did covers of it. Like there's a really awkward part where Last Resort, a remix of Last Resort by Papa Roach plays, but just we all started laughing when it played.
Yeah, it was rough. And they had the what was the other one that played? Rage Against the Machine, which didn't fit with anything else they did. I'm like, who gave him a good song? How did he? They had Butterfly. Who does that song? Who does that ass of a song? Oh my gosh,
The Crazy Town song, Butterfly.
Yeah, the Crazy Town song is in the fucking DMC anime. Dude,
That song is not intense. Like that's like a normal song.
it's not good either.
And then there's, the ending sequence, which is hilariously tone deaf.
We'll get there. So like the first episode, like we get into it, right? And they obviously threw a bunch of the budget in the first episode. One thing I noticed right away, I was like, this looks familiar. Turns out it's animated by the same studio that does the Boondocks. If y'all ever watch the Boondocks, that's one of my favorite shows. And the fight scenes in that show have no business being as good as they are. Right. The Boondocks is dope, but some of the characters are like straight. They look like used Boondocks or unused Boondocks characters. They just kind of placed in there. But the animation in the first part is good. And there's a joke in the beginning that made me laugh. And I was like, okay, we'll see where this is going. Cause we'd like ask a question, like a stupid question. And then immediately the show would answer the question. Like it knew it really seemed to know what it was going to do for the first episode. And I was like, all right, I'm on board. I want to see where this goes. I'm excited. That's the end of the good stuff.
Oh, oh no.
Oh, there's a lot to talk about.
Yeah, the immediately in the second episode we get those CGI creatures like Kengan Ashura.
Very
Yeah,
because it's so basically you have your main villain for this series, which was an adaptation. It's a adaptation of I think the DMC3's like prologue manga or whatever they had. He was a minor villain, but he was part of it. Is where he's from. But he's the main villain for this season, and he has his like ragtag band of demons that follow him, and they're all just like different demons throughout the series. Like you've got the plasma dudes from one as one of them, the twins from DMC3, Agni and
Wind Guy.
Yeah, Wind Guy. Or it starts with an A. I can't think of his name.
Garuda? Sounds like a Garuda.
It's not Garuda.
Maybe,
It might be Aruga. Is what
Whatever.
Something like that. But
Doesn't matter. They're
it's
all
just
CG. They look ugly as shit.
Yeah, they are the only CG elements in here for the most part, except for also Dante's Devil Trigger form, which also looks terrible. It looks much better when it's hand drawn, but it's definitely CGI way more than it's hand drawn.
Aww.
There's a few scenes where like it alternates between drawings and then CG for Dante. Like I'm specifically thinking of one where he's on a motorcycle, and I'm thinking the whole time of Zoids. You remember Zoids? With the giant like robot mechs for kids, where it was like a kind of an anime. Yeah, that ugly show. It reminded me of that. I don't know if the show is good or not. I just remember hating the way it looked. The other really rough part is that Dante is voiced by the guy who voices Nero in the games. I don't know who decided on that, but it's really jarring if you've played like DMC5, because not only that, but his personality seems to be like a mix of Nero and Deadpool. It doesn't feel like fucking Dante much at all. It's a rough.
When does this take place, or when's this supposed to? Do we know?
It's its own universe. It's not part of.
Oh, okay. Is it like a younger Dante then?
Yeah, it's basically like brand new Dante, basically.
Yeah, like before DMC1, I guess. Except he knows who his brother is, so he doesn't know who his dad is in the show. Oh, spoilers, by the way. So he learns who his father is in the show. So it takes place in a timeline where that happens.
There's some weird changes with it too, like in terms of what the story. Like one of the big things that I saw a lot of people complaining about is that at the end they introduced Virgil, right? But apparently he's just buddy with Mundus, who isn't sealed in this adaptation.
He's like his knight or something.
Yeah, he's like his right-hand man, basically, which is exactly the opposite of his relationship with him in the games, where he's just basically mind controlled and a slave to him.
Oh.
I just love at the end they finally introduce Virgil, and then he like the song kind of starts playing, and he goes, I swear he says something like, "There is a storm coming,
and
I am that storm."
And Barry the Light drops the "I am the storm that is approaching" line. It's literally they do it's Morbid time.
It felt like Morbid time.
It's also the stinger. It's the last scene in the show.
Yeah.
It sounds like gold. I don't know what you guys are talking about.
It's fucking gold, but it's only fool's gold. Like, it's fucking worthless. It's such a stupid scene.
It's one of those things where you're kind of like, if you're trying to appeal to people who've never watched Devil May Cry, there's too much going on. And if you're trying to appeal to DMC fans, they fucked it all up. We just watched something that was like that not too long ago, but it was Borderlands. It had a very Borderlands feel where it's like, who is this for? I don't get it. You're not appealing to anybody except maybe the guy who did the music, who really wanted you to hear his fucking 2000 to 2010s mix track that he keeps in his car at all times.
Part of the reason why I didn't watch that fucking movie is because I love Borderlands and I don't want to see it butchered.
Yeah, that movie would only make you like Borderlands less. I guarantee it. It's not. It does not enhance the source material in any way. Just like this.
All I remember is so old. The entire time. Like it's not even the movie.
She was.
It's because who was it? What? It was because of who plays Lilith, right? Did they get
Lilith, Tannis, and the barmaid, whatever her name, Roxy, I think. They're
Moxie?
all played by women who are like past 50, which I really want to say I don't have a problem with, but I kind of did.
You clearly did, because it was like you. It was very.
I thought I was better than that. I couldn't get over it. But that's Borderlands. We already talked about that on one of our earlier episodes. Feel free to check it out. There's one episode in there that's actually not half bad. What did you call it? Like the budget episode or the?
Are you talking about episode 6 where there was it was just no voices? Is that the one you're talking about?
Yeah, there was no voices and it was all animated and it was just storytelling through visuals.
2 distinct art styles to show, like one for the demon world, one for the mortal realm.
And then they converge in a twist that's not much of a twist, but I guess it's something, and then it doesn't matter anymore. Oh, the villain, the villain is kind of cool until you realize that it doesn't make sense.
Yeah, he's the
bunny
best
guy, right?
Yeah, he's the best character in there, at least in my opinion.
Yeah, no, he's all right.
But holy shit, some of those other characters. And then speaking of the characters, one of the very interesting things is the voice acting is very strange, with both like the casting and the like cadence that people speak with. Like we couldn't take the president serious anytime he showed up.
He was like an effeminate cowboy, but he also like was a giant oil mogul looking dude. It was weird.
In a very
there was a lot of first time voice actors. There was there were like, and then a lot of like expert voice actors in really tiny nothing roles.
Yeah, is the main characters like besides Dante are like all new casts, like they have 1 to 5 other roles basically, and they're like Soldier 6 or something. It's like their voice credits before this, or it's literally their first role. But then you have stuff like random dude who says 2 lines is Steve Blum, like, or Troy Baker, and it's like, what the fuck?
The one demon that is like the most threatening out of them is voiced by the guy who does Megatron, and he has maybe 2 lines, like where he says, and then where they're like two word sentences, like, but you just kind of hear that Megatron rumble. It's really weird.
Literally the first time he spoke, I was just like, oh, hi Megatron, what the fuck?
The other issue that I have with it is it kind of turns into a story of Lady, which is one of the Devil May Cry characters. It kind of really steps away from Dante. He kind of shows up every now and then, but it's mostly about Lady. It feels like, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but that's just how I felt watching it.
Oh yeah, no.
And her voice actor is not old. Like the voice looks the same for Dante. The voices are way too young for how the characters act and look. It's kind of jarring. So especially Lady. Lady was really throwing me off and making me like, this is not the correct choice. But
and the other thing about that is that Lady is feels like a very different character than the Lady in the games.
They all do. They all feel like a different character.
But she like one of the things that bugged me was just how much her character swore, and it felt forced. Like unnecessary.
Because she sounds like a child. So you just hear this child, these fucking demons, I'll fucking kill you. You're like, okay. All right.
She's like she's like competitively racist too.
The demon is like so the plot real quick is like this guy he gets sent to the demon realm. He's a human. He befriends the demons, and then he starts like getting them across the demon border and smuggling them into the human world. And some of the demons are these demons, the good demons look like people. The bad ones though, they look like bugs and arachnids and demons and shit. And Lady hates demons. She calls them like devil bloods and like she doesn't even call them demons. She finds like slurs for them. And then finally she meets some who are more like her, and suddenly she immediately grows a heart. It's like it's a 180 from where she was. And then they fight each other for fucking some reason. The rabbit guy's kind of cool, but he's just a guy. And then he transforms into a bigger guy, but not a rabbit. And we kind of wanted him to be a giant rabbit, and that didn't happen. Yeah, I don't know. It was weird. I will probably watch the second season if and when it comes out.
It's confirmed. It's confirmed to be coming.
Just to kind of see where, like a car crash. I just want to see what happens. Not any better than what was I comparing it to? Record of Ragnarok. I was like, how come that gets no animation and this gets all the animation? What are we doing?
Oh, the other thing is that like Lady's character development just kind of falls off a cliff, and she reverts back to normal at the very end to make the stinger work, or like the ending sequence work. Like,
yes, I don't.
Where she just says, "Oh, I'm betraying Dante. Here we go." For some reason.
Oh yeah. We just saved the world. Get in the back of the truck, fucker. You're locked up. Like,
drugged immediately.
Good deal. Yeah, I don't know, because we watched that with your lady Azumi, and like I was kind of she's very upbeat and positive, and I didn't expect her to not like it as much as she did, and I was trying to keep it like pretty. I didn't want to like taint it because I'm such a jerk about shit. But even she was like, "What is going on? Like this is weird."
She really likes Devil May Cry too. Like she collects all the games. Like I have like all the physical copies of Devil May Cry like next to me. So she is a huge fan of Devil May Cry, and I was very surprised she didn't like it. She showed me like a scene of the very end too, where she's like, "Look at this is some garbage."
Not once did Dante knock anybody up and shoot them to keep them in the air. He did nothing that Dante does. And that kind of, I figured that would happen at least once. And they did that thing where like he initially has like unbelievable super speed, and then they just kind of turn it off according to the plot.
You ate too much pizza, man. It got slow.
No, there's literally one part where there's like an oil trucker that like comes flying through the building. Like a diner, right? And he sees it coming, but he has enough time to grab 3 separate people, put them in the back of the restaurant, and get back there himself before it explodes. And then later, that like a human grappling hook is too fast for him to react to.
Yeah,
makes sense. I could see that happening.
Checks
Maybe
out.
He's tired.
He also doesn't like win any fights except for like one.
No,
Like,
he's a punk the whole time. He just gets
gets
his ass whooped.
And like Lady basically souls like 70% of the threats in that.
Like I said, it's her story. She's the main character, apparently. It's Lady May Cry.
And they fucked up her character in general anyways.
So like I said, I don't know who this is for. I can't recommend it unless I can recommend it for people who are like us, who like Devil May Cry, but are expecting to watch something bad. Like the Resident Evil series of movies. It's that same kind of vibe where you're like, I love this IP and y'all fucked it up, but I'm still gonna, out of curiosity, see what's going on here. That's kind of who it's for.
Yeah. It's not one of those, what should I watch next recommendations?
No, it's, it really needed to, if I had one huge critique, it really needed to either be like a serious take on the show or the IP and take itself really seriously, or really go like hard satire and just have all the dumb shit, all the stupid music, not the stupid. I like the music in the games, but like if you're going to have that stupid music in there, like just go really hard with it. There's all these, it doesn't, the tone kind of shifts constantly, and it doesn't really, it doesn't have a very clear vision, it seems.
You can do both. It's hard, but like you definitely can. The problem is
They
you have
tried.
you have to use mainly one and then sprinkle in the other for like on purpose for an effect. You can't just
well,
flip flop back and forth because now it just feels silly.
that's why I'm saying, like, the first episode, I was like, this could be fantastic, because there's a scene where like Dante's trying to save a baby who's been being eaten. He's like, this woman, demons grab her baby and she chased him, so he's got to go save him, right? The baby in the carriage is like replaced by a demon, and I'm like, man, if he just dumps a clip into this baby carriage, I am on board. Like, that would be fantastic. And he doesn't quite do that, but he does like save the lady, and he messes up, and he's like, all right, well, let me redo that. Let me pretend this guy's still alive. Bang, bang, saved you. Now I say something cool. Like, that got a chuckle out of me, and I was like, this could work really well. And then they kind of just went into cool, maybe. I guess once Lady is introduced, I was like, this is all kind of going downhill. I don't know.
Because Dante immediately loses some cool factor once he has to hang around her. Like, all of his good, like, cool scenes are before, like, she becomes a mainstay. Like, she has like 1 or 2 scenes before it, but it's basically up until after, once she captures Dante and like the middle of the 3rd episode, Dante doesn't get to do much for the rest of the series.
No, he sits in the back of the truck, then gets out of the truck, then gets back in the truck, then gets captured. He gets captured a lot.
He gets captured, I think, 3 separate times in 8 episodes.
He's not very good at his job. Like, okay, here's a perfect example, right? They go over Dante's bio. They're like, hey, who's this Dante guy? We have files on him. Let's check it out. And we paused each page they were going through on the computer to see if, like, hey, there's something cool written in here, some Easter egg. There was not a single joke written in any of the bio about him. And I was, what a missed opportunity. I couldn't believe they didn't make one stupid little reference or anything. They're like, he has great sword skills. He's a demon hunter. I'm like, you could have done some. You could have done literally anything and had me more on board, and they just didn't. So I expected Hellsing abridged, and instead I got this. So
Hey, maybe the bridge series for this will be pretty good. Who knows?
I bet it could be.
It definitely can be. The weird thing is, like, it definitely feels like a fanfic that got budget.
Yeah.
It's a way, like,
yeah, it feels like written on a fan site that they just said, here, let's take, because it just tries to do so much
and it adds
and ends up accomplishing very little.
It focuses on some elements that are very strange. Like, one of the big things is that there's good demons at all in this series now, and that, like, there's demon refugees basically, and it's like, it kind of takes away from Sparta's whole story, where he's like one of the only good demons.
Yeah, you're right. I didn't even think about that, but like, that's the whole thing, is Sparta fights back, but now there's people who should be fighting back as well.
Now there's I
don't know how they survive.
They're also, like, I don't remember like how it is in the game, but they're also apparently humanity and demons split off at some point. Like, they used to be the same species. It's like science.
Which doesn't quite
science
doesn't quite explain the parallel universe, though.
But, like, apparently, like, we're distant ancestors, I guess, or like, they're distantly related. Also, there's an element of like, they really focus on Christianity throughout it. Like, one of their new quote unquote bad guy, the vice president, like, keeps quoting the Bible and God constantly and keeps talking about how it's a holy war.
Yeah, you got that out of this. I didn't. That was just his. To me, that was just his character. It didn't lead to anything, though. So I don't know. Maybe next season we'll actually get something interesting.
That's where it feels like it's going. But also, like, because this is written by the same guy who did Castlevania, and I think I just noticed that, like, meeting Christianity and other things being way more prominent in the Castlevania series.
Yeah.
Than they are in the games.
Also, the final boss guy is just the tyrant from Resident Evil 1. He's got his heart on the outside. He's got a big blade arm. He's jacked. They just took that design. And then, but the cool thing is the heart was just like, they shot him in the heart, like you should. Like, you'd expect that to be a weakness, and it was. So I'll give it a point for that. Anyway.
And then there's the ending, which
we already.
But the part we were talking about that's super tone deaf, when they literally start nuking hell to the beat of American Idiot.
Oh, Yeah, Green Day's American Idiot plays, and then planes fly into hell and start bombing things. And that's why Virgil's like, okay, I'm releasing all these demons from hell. It's time to fight back. There's a storm approaching. Like it was like an America fuck yeah moment. It was really weird. I don't know why we did that, but yeah, I guess,
I remember Azumi brought that up. I was like, what, did like hell have oil or some shit? And I think that was the reason why. Like there was something that they wanted there.
Well, the vice president's just super
racist.
The vice president's super racist and just wants to get rid of all of demons.
Oh.
Yeah, I'd give it like I've seen worse things. I mean, we did watch the whole thing. We did laugh for various reasons. Some of the animation was really good. But that was very sparse. I don't know, maybe like a 4 out of 10.
Damn.
Something around there. I mean, I'm a harsh critic, but I feel like there was a lot of missed opportunities here.
Okay.
So
I almost want to watch it just because I'm curious now.
Yeah, watch it.
Yeah.
Tell me what you think.
I'll probably give it
Sit through, suffer like we did.
Oh no!
And then you can join. Then you can join us for season 2.
Yeah.
Oh god.
Ooh. We watched those first 2 episodes of Black Mirror last night. The new season, so good. I'm on board. Although the characters, my god. Anyway, that's not video games. You gentlemen. You guys played a game that I was kind of interested in, and I want to hear how Blue Prince is. What is it? Where did it come from? Why is it as good as people say it is? Tell me.
Ooh, Blue Prince. All right. So this is going to be kind of a hard one. Oh man. So I've been playing Blue Prince, and Strider here has been playing with me. I just been streaming the game to him, and it's a very interesting game. We'll start with that. So if you don't know about Blue Prince by now, it has pretty much came right out the gate with like raving reviews. I think Jason Schreier was the one who said that this is like going to be game of the year. This is incredible. I think he said it took him like 15 hours to beat, and he dumped like 100 more even after he saw the credits, because it's just like so good and there's so much things to discover.
And he quoted it as potentially being one of the greatest games of all time.
Oh, damn.
Yeah. So huge raving reviews, especially from someone like Jason Schreier. So yeah, it got a lot of attention. And Blue Prince is a mix of a puzzle game, an adventure game, and a roguelike game.
And a deck building game. Yep.
Yeah. It's very interesting mishmash of different elements. And you end up getting something pretty interesting, pretty cool. Kind of the background, the story of like how it starts is you play as Simon, who has been left with a mansion by his deceased uncle, right? And the uncle says that he gives you like, the mansion, this is yours, on one stipulation. This house has 45 rooms in it, but there's a hidden 46th room. You cannot keep the house unless you find where this 46th room is. And that's how the story is. You start like in front of the mansion door and you begin exploring, right? And how kind of the game starts, or how you play the game, is when you enter within like this first room. And the house is basically a 9x5 grid of empty squares, except for 2 rooms, the one that you entered. And there's one room all the way on the other side in the center called the antechamber. And whenever you approach a door that has not been opened yet, if you try to open it, you get a choice to create one of 3 random different rooms that you have access to. So you just place the room and you go inside. And generally there's like either like a mechanic that the room has or a puzzle inside there, something like that, right? And basically you do that. You just go from room to room to room to room, explore as much as you can. And there are clues and puzzles hidden within the rooms and the entire mansion itself.
That's cool. So like, so one thing I noticed is I didn't play obviously, and it looks like the look of it is very Obra Dinn to me.
It's pretty stylized.
Yeah, it's looks like everything's kind of hand drawn kind of situation.
Yeah.
One thing I was curious is like, how would you? Every room has multiple puzzle or a puzzle or multiple puzzles. Like we've played quite a bit of puzzle games. Where would you kind of rank the difficulty of like? Do you play alone? Do I need a notepad? Am I going to end up googling stuff?
You need a notepad, and you might have to Google like one or two things that are like, what is this thing? Because there was like one thing that I had to search up because I didn't know what it was called.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
And not just like a notepad, like you need pencil and paper to actually solve these puzzles.
Yeah, because
you need to be able to draw and like be able to connect things, and you need to be able to see it. There's no actual note taking available in the game itself, so you need to do that. And yeah, definitely the puzzles are on a level where you have to do it. Like otherwise, you're just going to struggle with some of these.
I can't just like press buttons like the room until something clicks.
No, you cannot do that.
Because it's basically one of the big things about this game is that finding out what the rules of each puzzle are. I want to use one example that I remember is there's these music sheets we could find, and there's multiple parts to it that only become apparent once you've found enough of them and or other related things throughout the house that will give you hints. Because the other thing is that like with figuring these rules out is there's usually multiple sources for these notes. Like maybe 2 or 3 different rooms will have like hints towards the solution.
Okay. So it's definitely more than like what's that game we play? Escape Room? It's like way more intensive than that.
There are very few rooms that you walk in and there's just obviously a puzzle. There's only like like 2 really, to be honest with you. That you can just solve in there. Generally how it is either there's a puzzle that you cannot see yet in a room you're walking through, and a different room will either give you like the hint to find it or a hint to solve it, and you just haven't seen it yet. Something like that. It's very vague puzzles, and they're all over the place. It's really cool. Honestly, like really great idea. It really forces you to think, and kind of eventually over time, you need to really be looking and finding things to solve. It's done really well.
And there's a rogue element to this, correct?
Yep. So whenever you build rooms and everything, eventually you're going to either run out of space, or you're going to make rooms that create dead ends, and you won't be able to like explore further, right? So what you have to do is you have to end the day. Ending the day, you basically leave the mansion and you go to bed. When you wake up, all the rooms you created will be gone, and you redo everything all over again. Because whenever you enter or access a doorway, the rooms that you can make are randomized in a pool of like basically cards that you have. And there's different rarities for the cards. So you essentially remake the mansion over and over again. And it's randomized what pieces you'll be able to use, which rooms you'll be able to use to create the mansion. And this kind of locks down, well, not really locks down, but makes it harder to access certain puzzles or the answers to the puzzles themselves, because you have to be able to, randomly pull that room that you might need. Yeah.
I can see that being frustrating because, there's definitely in some of the roguelikes I've played, like I'm thinking of like combining items. There's stuff where like if you combine this, you unlock this, but there's no way I would have ever known to like combine these things without Google or thousands of hours of trial and error. Yeah. Which can be frustrating. So
to be honest, the puzzles that are in the game are really well done. They're really good. The stipulation, the number one complaint I had about the game is the randomness of drawing rooms is honestly just a pain in the ass. Like it is not fun. It's just annoying, because you will have moments where like, I know how to solve this puzzle. I need this room to be able to do this, to be able to do this, to be able to do this. But I can't, because I keep drawing the wrong rooms in order to do it over and over and over again.
Oof.
And it gets very frustrating. Or let's say you unlock like a new room, which is something that you're able to do if you solve puzzles or just find them. You might not be able to access that room because you're just simply not drawing it. Or there's like a rule to the room that you just don't know because that clue lies in another room that you are having bad luck drawing. Yeah, and that's just kind of like a very common complaint I see about the game, where the RNG of drawing the rooms just gets in the way of actually trying to interact with the puzzles. It
Dang.
can be very frustrating, and there are ways to mitigate it. Like you can try to be smart by putting like dead ends in certain places. And there are mechanics in the game that let you change the rarity of what you can get or like manipulate what rooms you can get. But even those are somewhat random too. At the end of the day, it does fall to luck. You can just get unlucky a lot. So that can be a huge problem.
Is this, I mean, you guys, it seems like the kind of game that's fun to do with another person, right? Like, even though it's a single player game, you guys seem to be enjoying it very well with,
oh yeah,
man, just like it reminds me of the old days of when I'd have like my boy playing Tomb Raider and I'd have the strategy guide and he just just co-op on the couch having a good old time.
Yeah, it's fun. There's very few games that are like this. The main thing I would say about it is I think it is an over exaggeration that this is like a game of the year kind of game, or that this is like even that it's the next Outer Wilds or Obra Dinn. Because I just there are too many things about the game that make it to where it's interesting but overall frustrating, and the story behind it as well do not correlate enough with the story to make them interesting, if that makes sense.
Yeah, does the story ever become more than just find the room?
I mean, we're not done.
Yeah, we haven't been able to beat the game. And actually, if you look at the achievements, a lot of people have not been able to beat the game yet. Very few people have actually even seen the credits for it, at least as of when we're recording this. More what I mean is this has been compared a lot to Obra Dinn or Outer Wilds, but the difference between those two games with how they're structured is in those games, the puzzle was the story itself, and you're trying to figure out what the story is, right? In Outer Wilds, you're trying to figure out like what happened. That's the puzzle, and you do things to try and figure it out. Obra Dinn was the same way. You come across a ship that has been emptied. Everyone has somehow died. What happened here? And the puzzle is to figure that out. And that's what makes you fall in love with the stories. In this game, the puzzles are just like actually puzzles. Like, oh, here's a dartboard with math equations on it. And you'll just find a note that has like a story in it. And you could just mostly ignore the note and not read it. And you wouldn't really be missing too much, to be honest with you. So it makes the story harder to digest. Yeah, that's kind of just a thing about the game. As for the story itself, it's kind of interesting, but also it's so hard to interact with when most of the time you're just like rerunning rooms over and over and over and over again, just trying to like solve the one of the 8 puzzles that you have, and you have the answers to 5 of them, but you're just getting the wrong rooms, so you can't actually do it. Yeah, it can be kind of a problem, and that's kind of what I think holds back this game. And I feel like it I feel like I've almost been lied to hearing about the game, you know? Like,
really?
Yeah, honestly, it feels like I have. Like, this is not how I imagined it. I could just be biased because I do not like roguelike games.
No, that's the thing though. Is
no.
No, because I'm loving it. This is probably my game of the year so far.
Yeah, like I'm not a fan of roguelike games, but when I get told, you know, oh, this is like the next Obra Dinn, the next Outer Wilds, I'm like, oh shit, really cool puzzle game. And then I just find it's like, you know, Reset Simulator. Well,
RNG's simulator.
Yeah, essentially, it definitely does not leave a great, you know, impact on me when I actually try to play. I just get frustrated now, where it's like I just want to do the puzzles.
Yeah, that's the thing though, is like you need to like both roguelike and puzzle games for this, which I'm a big fan of both. Which is why
That's what I was gonna say. It's like he's not like people hate Elden Ring, but that's an objectively good game. You know, it's just not for people.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I'm trying to say, like, you know, temper your expectations if you're expecting this to be like those games, and understand that this mechanic is in there, because I can see where people would say it's like Outer Wilds with the reset mechanic. But the difference with those is you could use the reset in Outer Wilds to test things out like a science experiment, because it is consistent every time you restart. You can't do that in this game because it is randomized every time it resets. So that's where the frustration can stem from. And so it's not actually similar to Outer Wilds in that way.
It's the reason I see it's compared to Outer Wilds is basically that there are mechanical benefits that will happen, that you have like light meta upgrades throughout the game. But a lot of this is there is a knowledge element that once you have that knowledge, it becomes much easier to do something if you want to. Like you'll know which.
I disagree. I don't think so. I've seen people say that too, and I think that's just not true.
Because you know which rooms will can show up in certain locations. Certain puzzles becoming easier once you have the knowledge and have unlocked like locations. You can loop around the house in different ways. As it continues, there is more like a few rooms upgrade each time they're drafted. You just get flat upgrades to the rooms as you continue, which will
but that's like made obvious. Like when you have a room, like you're talking about when you draw multiple times, like the observatory, it gets stronger every time you draw it. It literally tells you that. Like when you pull it up, it says that it will be better every time you draw it. Like that, it just tells you. And also, all the knowledge that you gain from it does not really help mitigate any of the RNG in the game anyways. Like what happens with Outer Wilds, where if you learn the game, as soon as you start it up, you can just beat it. Like you don't have to do anything else. You know how to beat it as soon as you start the game, if you already know.
I mean, yeah, there is that. But it's also that because as a roguelike, there are just certainly times where RNG will screw you.
Right. And that's what I'm saying.
But you can mitigate it to a somewhat reasonable degree.
I disagree. I don't think you can.
Because I was talking to someone else who's been playing this game, and he's gotten almost the house full like multiple times in a row just from the knowledge he has. And he's been able to mitigate and go for what he wants. I don't know exactly
how long did it take?
Like multiple runs in a row, he was able to get to what he wanted.
But how long did it take to get to that point?
I don't know. Because I haven't seen most of his playthrough. But when whatever he was going for, it took him 1, 2, or 3 days. At somewhere in day 20, he had a ton of rooms upgraded. So, he's solved a lot of puzzles. Some things we haven't, from what I understand. I'm trying, because the other thing about this game is that the way people are going to go solve it is like 2 people playing the game will probably solve it in very different ways in terms of their order through the house.
Yeah.
Do you think me and Soon could play this and do well?
I would love to watch you too.
I enjoy the escape room type puzzle games.
I love puzzles and roguelikes.
But I don't like the idea of the RNG heavy part of it. That's not as appealing to me.
I mean,
it's
because there is that. But I'm also to me, penalizing a roguelike harshly for having RNG is just an innate thing that the genre has.
No, I'm not saying it's bad. What I'm trying to say is be aware that is a mechanic in the game. Because if you're like me, who had this, like, you know, compared to Obra Dinn and Outer Wilds, this has this that makes it not similar to those games. That's what I'm trying to say. You know,
you expected a straightforward puzzle game to some degree, and you got the roguelike element, which you absolutely do not like. That's
exactly all. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. Like at the end of the day, it's a roguelike game. So if you don't like roguelikes and that could be a problem for you, then expect to run to frustration just like I am with the game, where I just want to do the puzzle. Like I feel like I'm wasting my time just constantly redoing stuff to try and get something. I find some new puzzle that I have to do now instead of solving the bunch that I already have.
See, the thing is, I like roguelikes and I like puzzle games, but I don't know if the sound of combining the two appeals to me.
I feel the same way. I'm like, I love both these things. Also, if y'all don't know what roguelikes are, it's where the game restarts and you have little bonuses every time you play again.
Well, that's more
to
so.
get better
That's
at the
more
game.
roguelite, right? Like roguelike, you start with a clean slate every time.
Yeah. Doesn't this one have, you said there's meta bonuses?
Yep.
That's more.
Yeah,
then that would be more roguelite than roguelike.
Whatever. It's, you fucking have to restart the game 1,000 times to beat it. It's all the same to me. Actually, it's not the same. One I like way more than the other.
I kind of
Right.
prefer roguelite more. I like having that feeling of like the meta
Progress.
permanent progression.
I like getting things. I don't like just restarting the game.
That being
with
said, I have
more-
found some roguelikes that I enjoyed, but I do tend to lean more towards the roguelite more.
Yeah, it other than that, like the art style is really, really well done. It runs really well. There's actually puzzles outside of the manor itself that you eventually find, so it like expands over time and just gets like larger, which is really cool. The environment's also really neat. One thing about it is that for some of the puzzles, it's kind of annoying that some of the answers are given very plainly for them in certain rooms, which was kind of weird. We actually ran into a couple times where we found rooms that just straight up give the answer on how to do stuff, but we'd already figured out how to do it before we found them. That's kind of weird. I'm not sure if I like that or not, or if I just felt I have negative connotations because I solved it already, and then the answer's like,
Which
found-
one are you thinking of?
there's the math one that we found on how to solve the math one.
Because I found out when I was talking to the other person about this game is that the math book there's literally one of the notes tells you how it works completely, but you need the magnifying glass to see it.
Oh yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Like you have stuff that literally just tell you how to do the puzzles. The other one was one about paintings as well. There's one that just tells you how to, how those work.
I remember seeing you guys do the paintings, and I was like, I don't know, I'm going back to what I'm doing.
Is it like, I've played plenty of puzzle games. Are you talking, or is what you're speaking of like when you solve a puzzle and then in the next room they're like, look under the desk for a key, and you already found the key? Is it just like,
It's kind of like
kinda
that. Yeah, it's kind of like
okay,
that.
well, and I mean that's just for
to it-
player. That's not. I mean that's just our fault for being too good.
Good. Well, because the other thing is that like the way the game is structured, where like there isn't a set linear progression, is that like the hints and solutions, like the one you're talking about, there's a hint in the commissionary about how they work. There's a hint in the study, and I think there's one other room that also just has an even more flat out answer.
Yeah.
Like the hints, but it's also once you know what you have to do, you still have to do that part of it, because that still took us a chunk of time.
I know, it sucked.
But-
like
but-
we had to go around, like make all the rooms, and yeah, that took forever. It's not a great time.
All right. Well, it sounds like a difference of opinion, but still, is it objectively a well done game?
I think so. I
Yes.
think it's objectively a well done game.
Especially
it looks
for
really
s-
good.
Especially for a studio's first game, this is very good.
Yeah.
Like
I think it's done pretty well. It's not something that I have ended up liking. I'm still interested in it, and I do want to beat it. It's just like right now I'm at a part where I know what I need to do, and I just I do not want to try to do it. Like it just sounds like such a pain where I have to it's going to take me a few tries to do, and I already know what I'm doing, why I'm doing it. I just hope I have to get lucky enough that it actually does land on what I need.
I mean, it's hard to want to struggle when you could just boot up Marvel. you know?
Exactly. When I could just boot up Marvel. Like why would I waste my time?
Marble.
Uh
All right. Any final words on that, or what y'all?
I think the development for the game is kind of interesting because I guess the guy who designed it, like how the development went for this is he and his friends would actually like they would go like to vacation homes and stuff, and they would design like puzzles based on the rooms they were in at those vacation homes. That's kind of like where some of these came
That's
from.
cool.
Yeah, and eventually they hired someone to create all the art to replace all the like generic assets that they were using. It was kind of funny because they thought it would only take like half a year. Ended up taking like 3 years to get the art style that we eventually got with. And I think it was worth it. It looks really well, or looks really well done, I should say. So, and I also think it was inspired by Magic the Gathering too.
Yeah, I saw a blurb saying that was in there, and I was kind of curious as to how, because I play more Magic than I should, or at least I did. I off and on go hard on Magic, and I was kind of curious, like, how does that even factor into what's going on in that?
I think it's
game?
mostly just like the cards taken from like a deck from Magic the Gathering that you would have. Like that's the aspect that he took from.
So no gameplay, just
just more of like
Okay.
the card mechanic of drawing cards to play. Like that he got that from Magic the Gathering. So a lot of different
Gotcha.
inspirations coming into make this, and made a pretty unique game. Honestly, I would say you probably couldn't find a game like Blueprints. Is pretty unique overall.
The thing that it reminds me of is if you want, it's a different genre than a puzzle game, but it gives me heavy vibes, like very similar things to Tunic. Which
Tunic.
If you want something that's significantly less RNG, it's a like basically a Zelda type game, but there are very similar elements that are found in Blueprints are also found in Tunic, and it's also one of the few types of games I've seen where if you are going for basically 100% of Tunic, you are going to need a notepad. This is one of those notepad games.
Ooh.
So it's very similar, and I would highly recommend Tunic as well.
Tunic's the game with the little cute fox, right?
Yes,
The little sword.
It took me about 8 to 12 hours to roll, like to finish it, Tunic. I didn't get 100% of everything. There's some other like super secrets that I didn't get, but I can highly recommend that if you want something like Blueprints. Just be aware that it is like a Zelda type game, kind of light soul elements. Can be pretty challenging, though there is accessibility options and an easier mode in that. So, but sometimes that game can be pretty challenging on normal difficulty. But there is no RNG elements of it, but it is a game created in a very similar structure.
Okay, I might have to try that then.
I will gift you Tunic. I want to watch you play Tunic, and I want to see your reaction to it. I want to see what you think of it after we've because I want to talk about that and Blueprints and compare, because these two games are basically like they're a very unique genre that I've loved, which is like the puzzle elements in a game, like with a notepad, but it's all figuring out what the rules are that have been written down somewhere. You just have to know how to basically read the language that they're telling you in.
That's so specific.
I'll give it a try.
It is. I love Tunic. I'm very interested to see your playthrough of it.
All right. Overall for
cool.
Blueprints, though, I think I could recommend it as long as you're okay with the mechanic of the game restarting and you being okay with just, that you might just get unlucky fairly often. Like, as long as you're okay with that, if you don't mind that and you're just okay chilling and just playing the game, then yeah, definitely try it out. It's really good. If that seems like something that you'd get frustrated with and you'd feel like you're wasting your time, probably don't get it because it would probably be a too much of a barricade for you. You just get frustrated, and that would just tank your ability to actually do the puzzles, even discover them in the first place.
Yeah, that happened to you while we were playing.
Oh yeah,
you started getting frustrated and started making very sloppy mistakes.
Yeah, I was just making rooms. I was so pissed off. Oh my gosh.
Or you just dead end yourself, and I'd be like, wait, no, that's gonna never mind.
But I will not let my bias get in the way of what I think this game actually is. I think it's really good. Is a game of the year. I think it's too niche to be like one of the best games ever made, but I think it's still good. So definitely look at it and give it a try.
I'm not sure if it's followed, but I think it's right now. Last time I checked, it was the highest rated game of the year so far in Metacritic.
Yeah.
So generally, people can. Yeah, that's fair. But
yeah,
also, March was fucking loaded.
Yeah, I'm waiting for Doom, dude. New Doom. But yeah, that's it from me for Blueprints, at least for now.
Well, we'll come back to it.
Yep, when we compare it to Tunic.
I think the only other thing we wanted to talk about was Marvel. Oh, real quick. Star Citizen has passed 800 million.
Yeah. No way. More money.
It's on track
Less
to becoming the
made.
first. It's on track to becoming a $1 billion game.
Every time they get more money, the percentage of doneness goes back one.
Maybe that's just the goal now. They're just like, can we get $1 billion out of this?
At this point, it wouldn't surprise me. Like,
no, it's made 100 million a year. So, or I guess crowdfunded 100 million a year.
Crowdfunded.
It's
been longer than that,
so,
right? It's like 12 years or something. So
I don't know.
It's a long fucking time.
It's been too damn long is what it's been.
$1 billion for a video game.
You know, it's crazy. It's still an alpha. I'm pretty sure it's not even.
Yeah.
There's not even a beta out for it. It's still an alpha.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
So anyway,
yeah.
Marvel season 2.
Marvel.
How we feeling, boys? We've been kind of non-stopping it.
They
like
shot
Marvel.
Dive. Oh my god, they shot Dive.
Good. Fuck
Well,
that stupid play style.
I mean, on top of Spider-Man getting banned every game.
As
Yeah,
he should be.
I don't know. I just think there should be more answers. What did we get with this update?
There are more answers.
I was looking at some recently, and everyone's pointing out like there are tons of answers, but like a lot of them are like so soft answers.
There's no support answers.
Like all the counters that I have are super soft counters. There's only one hard counter I saw consensus wise, and that's Namor, and he gets banned too. So,
yeah, now there's significantly stronger options.
Yeah, I mean, but it's still that thing of like okay, so the big update is that Emma Frost came out. I'm kind of in love with this character.
Yeah, I know. You've been going crazy with her. Oh my gosh.
thick lady.
She's so she's so fun to play. She just I'm always doing something. Everything feels really good. There's nothing better than having a Black Panther dive at you and snatching his dumb ass out of the air and two-shotting him. It just feels so clean.
I like what they've done to Mr. Fantastic. He feels good again.
He's like one of the I think he's like the strongest DPS right now, isn't he? Isn't he the highest win rate?
He has the highest win rate.
He fucking murders Dive now with his slow.
I love
that
Stretchy Man is back to being like viable. It's good.
I think he was still.
He felt like shit before.
I think he was fine before, even like you could still play him.
He wasn't.
No,
I think
he was.
You're full of shit.
When he first came out, he was pretty okay. But the general consensus is that the nerfs that happened for 1.5 put him in a really bad spot.
Maybe above our rank. I think he was fine where we were playing at the time.
I disagree.
Were you ever happy to have a Mr. Fantastic on the team?
I was never happy to have that motherfucker on the team. It was
Really?
always such a slow push. The
Yeah.
damage was not there, and he feeds so much ult charge. 3 tanks with no damage.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Hmm.
But that's changed. He's noticeably better. This game just keeps winning, man. Actually, I don't really like the new maps, but that may change as I get more used to them.
There's a lot of places to go. They're very
Too many.
There are lots of hallways. Groot is very very strong on one of them. I forget which one it is. I think it's the very first point
For what?
I don't remember.
on
New
Krakoa.
Dom.
It's just
Well-
a giant maze of just like small hallways
there's no-
over and over.
The order we play on them is random. So,
Oh, is it? Okay.
yeah.
I
Domination.
think
had to
remembering
go-
the first time I played it, it was the first map.
like the kind of like it's almost like foresty, like, but it's like slope raised up like on like a stair step kind of on one side near the
I
point.
think so. Yeah. Yep.
It reminds me of the elf place in WoW.
The elf place.
Maybe Soon knows. Where the elves
There's a
live, where
couple of
everything's all
elf
green and
places.
glowy. No, the one with the green glowy and the nighttime and purples and
These are all fantastic descriptor for a game that is very colorful.
I'm
trying-
talking
which
about
elves-
Burning
I'm
Crusade,
trying to think.
the main elf land where you start if you're. It doesn't matter.
Are you
None of
are
this
you
matters.
talking about the Blood Elves area?
No,
Silver Moon City?
I don't know.
This is not
I don't know.
helpful.
There's like vines, and then there's elves.
The other,
and
okay,
everybody's
there's
eyes
two.
glow.
All the elves' eyes glow. You're not.
Yeah, but these are really
You're
bright.
talking about Blood Elves and Silver Moon.
Sure.
Are they
Whatever.
green?
What, their eyes? Oh, maybe they're blue. It's only been like 15 years since I've been there. I'm sure it's important information. It's fine. Anyway, it looks fine. It's nice. It's a nice aesthetic. I just don't know if I like the layout yet. I still don't hate it as much as the destructible environments rebuilding. That's still driving me insane.
Saved one of us today, I think.
It saved me. Yeah, for once it saved me instead of killing me. The one thing that has been kind of interesting is the season reset.
The rank reset? Oh,
And,
it's
like,
awful.
It's
I've done ranked
kind
yet.
of a mess.
I'm waiting until fucking.
Didn't you do ranked with us?
No, I had to go to bed, man. We had to work in the morning.
Oh, yeah, that happens.
No,
Don't worry.
he was
I'm mainly
It's
I'm
been-
kind of just waiting. I'm waiting for it to sort itself out more.
Yeah, I mean, it's fine. Like if you go into ranked right now, expect to have the messiest games because I've got grandmasters and bronzes on my team. It's not correct.
Grand bronzes.
Grand bronzes, and then it's actually it's not the end of the world. Like the games are still doable. We've all some of them been harder than others. Except for the one we ran into that fucking cheater. That was awful. I can't get over how annoying that
You ran
was
into
to
a
not be
cheater?
able to do anything. Oh
Yeah.
yeah. Oh yeah.
his
What was he
history.
Even
cheating?
spammed easy in the chat while we were like stuck in the spawn. He was Moon Knight, right?
Yeah, it was
And
Moon Knight.
we could not get out of spawn due to him. And he had like 50 plus kills, and we're like most of us are grandma. Like that shouldn't be happening. We're like, this feels bad. I know Lionel was the first one to be like, this feels like cheating. Like something's wrong here. So we go
Yeah.
back and check the VOD.
What exactly was
First
he
thing
doing?
we notice is this. His aim would like jitter to P. It wasn't really strong. Like he obviously had skill. That much I like. Yeah, he cheated, but he like had definitely played the game. His account was bronze and then gold this season. His aim would kind of track people through walls occasionally, and also it would snap a lot to like he'd be facing one way and we'd be spawning to the right, and his aim would just like make a 90-degree snap to the right where we were and just stop there, and then it would start doing stuff.
Yeah.
The really
that's
obvious thing
so-
was when he would jump though, is like the way his camera would rotate to stay locked on to whatever target. It would like rotate.
Yeah.
It was like stabilized, which is
Yeah,
very
the onks too. Every time he
Yeah.
threw an
The
onk,
onks, yeah.
it would always stay on the onk. Like no matter what kind of movement he was doing, it was like perfect. Like no matter what.
He would just eye the needle through like 5 people to hit the onk constantly, and the mouse would just stop. It wouldn't move anymore.
Yep.
You know. And then we checked his win-loss record, and he's got MVP in the last 30 ranked games in a row. So
Yeah. He was like a bronze player too, like last season or something. And it was like bronze or silver. And just
Yeah.
immediately like whooping everyone afterwards. Like, I think he got like 70 plus SR in his first game because he just did that good. All of a sudden, in a time where you have like grandmasters in that elo now, or top 500, there's no
doesn't
way.
work like that. You'd have to have a full team of like one celestial player. One top 500 isn't going to have every game be like that. Like that's too much. You know, you're still going to get, how many YouTube videos have I seen on Overwatch and League where, master players restart an account and can't like get through bronze ranks because of everybody else. This guy, not a problem. Burns the whole world down with Moon Knight. Moon Knight got some buffs. He's much harder to kill now though.
He gets bonus health when he hits his right click.
Yeah.
Depending on
he
the
feels
amount
like
of people.
chasing down a Bucky kind of, which is not great
Hey,
for a whole.
we'll say at least he has to hit this.
Yeah, that's true.
It's not
That's
bullshit
true.
with Winter Soldier where it's like, I can spam my keyboard and get bonus health.
He only gets like 50 though.
Fuck Winter
Isn't it?
Soldier.
he gets 25 per person hit up to 100.
Oh, it's okay. It's not per person hit because I
my
remember
name's
using
Bucky.
it in the training range to test it. I remember 50.
Yep.
No, honestly, the new patch, all the different changes feel really good. The new rocket is a lot of fun.
I don't know how I
The
feel about
Hulk
that.
changes are really good.
I don't know how I feel about New Rocket yet. Would I add
Why?
some
New
tank?
Rocket's
I think
great.
he's great.
I think it's great.
His
New
ult's
Rocket's
great,
fun.
but just if I notice when you're not directly hitting me with the right click, it's so rough.
Oh yeah. I mean, that's
Yeah, but,
fair because
like-
now I can't just heal like everyone for like a shit
Because
ton of healing
the other
all
thing
the
is that
time.
your projectiles like leave us sooner is the other thing I'm feeling because of their increased speed. So when they slow down, they're still moving faster than they used to when they leave. But
So you mean rocket mains have to try now?
yes. But also apparently there's an issue with Rocket where the burst heal happens on every time. It can happen every time the thing bounces. So if you shoot it like Grid's feet, you can full heal him in like 2 seconds,
Ooh,
Good
that's
shots,
pretty cool.
man.
which is very stupid.
That's pretty cool. I like it. Having the little burst heal is really nice, actually, especially because you can help keep people alive that have been CC'd. I've even like healed people through strange alt too, which is kind of absurd.
Well, the big thing with the Strange Ult is because of his nerfs is he can't one-shot squishies anymore.
Yeah. I mean, before I just like there was no shot. Like I could not out heal the damage that Strange would put out anyways. Like it just wouldn't have happened.
Well, I
Even
mean,
without his E.
I mean, he only lost 10 damage on H left click.
It was enough. And speaking of one-shotting, like if you're gonna play Emma Frost, like do it now. Play her now because she's gonna get nerfed so hard. Like I have like an ulting punchy man in just destroying my team. You snatch him up, you do your moves, and he's dead. It's wonderful, and it's not gonna last very long.
Well, I mean,
guarantee.
I think that's the whole thing with Punchy Man is that if you're talking about like Iron Fist, it's if he can't do his shit, he's
Mhm.
dead.
I know, but like to have a tank be able to one-shot characters that attack them, well, it's less than 2 seconds and they're dead. 100 to 0.
I still think
And I
it's
don't think
funny
there's
'cause
another tank that can
fuck
do that.
Iron Fist.
I mean, Strange used.
Oh, I love it. That's why I'm saying do it now.
Yeah, Strange used
Do
to
it
be.
while it's still available.
Strange used to be able to do that. Left click melee, left click
Exactly.
explode. But because
Yeah.
the animation cancels, you just kill them on the second click, left click.
Yeah, I was thinking about it. There's no other tanks that do this much burst damage on a single target. So
Strange did that to
Me?
everyone around him.
yeah, that's why he's junk now. I mean, he's still good. I just hate him.
general consensus is that he's fallen out of being a top tier tank, I think, is what I was seeing.
I think Magneto's top tier right now.
Yeah, it's Magneto.
I feel like let other tanks have some limelight. I feel like that's allowed. Strange has been there for so fucking long.
I mean, Strange was already not the greatest even last season. He was fighting for like 4th.
I think I always get a pretty good mix of tanks, except for I don't see Hulk very much. Not many people play Hulk, it feels like.
Well, now they're just banning him.
Yeah,
because the laser squid.
And the Hulks I do come across,
It just made you so mad.
Yeah, because our ranked game, he like insta-locks Hulk and just goes like 1-4 and accomplishes nothing. And I'm like,
oh my
made
god,
me so sad. I'm becoming like a tank snob. Like I don't want a solo tank, but also I don't want a bad tank. So maybe I'll just solo tank.
You don't want a solo tank, but you'll make me solo tank.
The day of the update, Fliz, you weren't with us at the time, and I'm just sitting there like, man, I wish Fliz was playing with us because you would actually play Hulk. And if we were playing a game against a dive comp, and I switched to fucking Namor and got really sad and annoyed because I was like, oh yeah, because like I saw we had a Luna, and I was like, all right, cool, we're gonna counter the shit out of this. And the team up's gone because it's on Hulk now.
Yeah,
and I was like, this fucking sucks.
I'm sorry, I wasn't there, man. I don't even consider myself that good, but apparently nobody plays Hulk and nobody, I don't know.
Instead, we had to fight Crackhead, Spider-Man, and Black Panther.
I mean, the very nice thing is that because we're both tank mains, but we also know how to play with each other very well.
Oh yeah. And the only reason I ever leave you alone is when our DPS aren't doing their job. When they got a Groot and the Widow's just shooting the walls and missing everything else. Like, I'm sorry, I'm gonna swap to DPS.
I'm just laughing at the fact that how many games did we play this afternoon? 5, 6, 4, 5, 6, right?
Yeah,
I definitely played some games.
I gained 3 times or more LP in those 5 or 6 games that I did the fucking other 20 something games we played the 2 days previous.
Well, yeah, because we're the other games we were playing with people who aren't ranked as high, and so the games are skewed in a way where we're fighting people who are lower rank. It's not going to give you you're going to get lower gains and higher penalties.
Fighting children, man.
You're beating up kids.
You're like going to local elementary. Why are these kids so weak?
No, it's because we were losing. It was 100% because we were losing.
Well, we were losing to kids.
We were like,
they're not kids though. According to the system, they're little, they're newer players, but it's, there's grandmasters in our lobbies.
There's grandmasters and actual bronzes.
Yeah, our team was literally bronze, silver, gold, and then like 3 grandmasters. So it made for very interesting dynamics. But we still got to play ranked with our friends. I like that. True. That was nice to do for once.
Just holy shit. When you're having a rough time as tank, it's not a fun time.
No. Well, I guess that's the same on any character. You start dying, you stop having fun. Yeah, I don't know. Was there anything that's supposed to be coming up for them, or is this? I don't know if there's any leaks or anything, or like what's next.
Besides Ultron, like we've had leaks about Ultron that is supposed to be really good, and his abilities leaked as well a while ago. But he's not coming out for quite a while. How do you guys feel about them announcing that there's going to be a new hero every month after this season?
That'd be pretty neat. I want Ultron. I want Doom.
My battle passes, Jesus. I'm gonna be spending $60 a year. Just getting the battle passes.
Hey man, the battle passes so far have been solid. I don't mind.
They really are. They give you a lot for the price. That Joe Fixit skin, I need it. It's so good.
Don't get it.
I'm working on it. Except now Hulk is banned every game, so
you're not gonna get to play him.
I'm not even gonna get to play him.
How many times has he been banned? I never pay attention to when bans.
He was banned almost every single time today.
Yeah, I'd say 4 out of 5 games he's banned.
Oh damn!
If we didn't have someone playing Hulk on, because I think both teams were playing Hulk in the games, he wasn't banned.
Which is like, it sucks. Like put that team up on some, like just say Strange is using cosmic powers for people, and let me play Hulk. Like they already had a season where he was banned every game. It's goofy, frustrating.
Maybe
for me.
2.5 will be his season. Who knows?
Maybe, and then they'll nerf him into
Strange
the
got
ground.
shot again. Fourth nerf.
Do it again.
Get that Team of Wonder though.
It's not good for him. He lost too much for it.
She goes machine gun mode.
Yeah, he's
Yeah, I had that. Somebody requested I was strange, and I hated the entire game. I find him so incredibly boring.
At least you have Emma as a backup now.
Oh, dude, Emma's slowly becoming like that's the fun one. Groot's fun, Emma's fun, Hulk is when
I'm never
I really
gonna get to
want
play Emma.
Sure, you can. It's just we'll have to be in quick play. I don't know.
You have to
We'll do
pick
whatever.
faster
You
than
just
him.
seem to be. No, he does. He picks Magneto first. What are you talking about? He insta locks Magneto every game.
Well, it sounds
true.
like Miller isn't even trying.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Well, because
It's
half
all
the
right.
time fucking Hulk or Groot's banned. So his tank pool gets
Yeah.
like my tank pool is fine. His keeps getting shot.
I mean, I can play Strange just fine. I can play Venom just fine. I can play all the tanks actually pretty well.
His penny is
I just don't like to.
incredible. It's crazy.
My Penny's pretty nasty,
Yeah,
dog.
she can
I'm
crit
pretty
now.
gnarly with Penny.
I watch him AD strafe going pew 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 pew.
She can randomly crit now.
Yeah.
Oh.
That's another character that's not. I like characters where people are running away from me. That's what I like. I like chasing people down. So I love this game. I
I think
really
that's one of the
do.
reasons why I like playing
fucking-
Thing. I have a fucking ton of fun playing Thing.
You just counteracted my whole argument I had in my head. Like I thought I'd like that character, and I just don't. And he does exactly what I just said.
He just
I like
runs people
Thing.
down. Yeah, like thing is, run someone down, cause problems for them, hop back to your team. What actually?
I
well,
love
at least
playing
that's
the
what
Thing.
should happen. What usually ends up happening is run people down, turn around, your team is just all fighting one person around the corner, and you're fucking hosed.
Yeah.
But games
That's
where my
that's
team is
Hulk
actually
too.
playing with me like they should be, it's great.
Oh yeah, no. When you have the momentum with with thing and your team's falling up, definitely probably my favorite tank to play in the game. And it's probably not.
Have you tried Emma?
Yeah, I've tried Emma. She's
I
probably
haven't.
okay. But you got the skin. You have to.
Yeah, well, I'm waiting until like there's actually an opportunity to pick her.
I mean, I'm not
Maybe
going to pick her
tonight,
into
maybe
ranked
after
right
this.
now because I need quite a few quick.
I will. I do it. She's so good.
Yes.
She feels so good.
But also, you give me my
Oh my
you
God.
give me my team up, and I can also just bubble you constantly and just have you do stuff.
Yeah. All right. I don't. You guys have any last thoughts on this season aside from you? Is anybody not having fun?
Nah, I'm just chilling. I like playing Rocket. I like the new Rocket.
I didn't get a chance to play yesterday and it bummed me out.
As long as my team's
That's
with me,
all right.
I'm enjoying it.
I'm glad Strider's joined us again because there's a
Instead
while
of
where we
hiding in
weren't
the
playing,
corner.
and I was like, he's just doing other stuff. But
Well, I mean, right now it's like if you guys are playing ranked, I have to play with you. Otherwise, you're going to get too far ahead, and I'm not going to play the game anymore.
Damn straight.
Because if you because you just fall asleep during quick play now.
I
Yeah, he's got you there.
Like we literally can't
It's
play quick
such
play.
nothing.
You just fall asleep. Like what am I supposed to do?
I'm sorry. There's no stakes. It's like watching a kids show. Like there's nothing going on. I don't care. I don't care if Airbud can score a basket. Like there's nothing
It's
here.
a dog that plays fucking ball, dude.
And they made many movies about it, and not one of them are
They
interesting.
had a whole team of dog ball. Play, game, shoot, go.
Maybe I never watched them. Well, that's a lie. I watched the first
I think
one.
that one was Air Buddies. Yeah, they had like a whole fucking. It's all as like puppies.
Who says a dog can't play basketball? That's nowhere in the rules.
It probably now is.
I want the wheelchair basketball movie brought to you by Nintendo Switch.
You want that
Airbuds.
wheelchair sport game?
Airbud sues the NBA.
What was that called? What was that game called? The fucking wheelchair ball
Hot
one.
Wheels. No.
What about
it's been Rip-X Ride, something like that. It was Dragon Drift. It was
Dragon
something.
Drift?
Wheelchair ball game.
Oh, I said the thing to Lionel that I saw like right before we started about Drag X Drive. I think it's Drag X Drive. Where apparently Nintendo's like, don't call them wheelchairs, call them vehicles.
Yeah.
Like-
No. They're wheelchair. They're legitimately rocket-powered wheelchairs. It seems like. Okay. Yeah, sure, Nintendo.
Heroes.
You know what's best. Well, like I don't know. We probably it's seems like a source. One of
Drag
those
X
source
Drive.
subject games. Yeah.
Did you just scream Drag X Drive just in
That's
your
the name. Isn't
I
that
love
dude?
it.
They got
All right.
giant ass fucking hands. Jesus.
Well, yeah, so they can go really fast.
Do you think Professor X, when he comes into the game, will
They use a basketball?
Thank you for listening to episode 40.
You don't think Professor X could be balling?
And we're done. Goodbye.
We're done. We're done.
You
We've
get-
hit our peak.
You got all
That's the
3
peak
pointers,
right there.
man.
I shoot 3-pointers with my mind powers.
Exactly.
Yeah, I do think that is our time though. So we'll go ahead and call it there. Thank you all so much for listening. We really, really appreciate it. Like I said earlier, go to Spotify, Apple, leave a review and comments and get more people here. Leave some saying happy birthday to our boy Soon. If you have any suggestions, questions, or comments, please hit us up at giantenemycrabpod@gmail.com. And with that, we will see you next time. Goodbye.
Goodbye.